Hey guys, and welcome back to MBTcraft. My name is Escore, and you might remember my early version of the Simon Says game, which was kind of buggy because sometimes the colors didn't flash up, it had way too many command blocks, and also would only work till round 5. But yeah, as the game gets better, I also do. So let me show you my version 2 of this game. So yeah, this is the new look of the game, which is pretty cool I think, because now you also have a reset button in the center. And this reset button also works as a start button. Also you now click the colors with right clicking, which is also an improvement I think, because now you do not have to walk over the colors and jump anymore. And yeah, this works with piston extension blocks, but I will explain you everything in detail after I play the little game. So yeah, as you have seen in the chat, it said that I lost at round 13, but my high score is 12. And this is not a bug, because I was able to beat 12 rounds and I was currently playing round 13. And yeah, how everything works is with a squid. I'm right here. So okay, let's say I start the game by pressing the button. Then the squid will teleport 1 into this direction. And yeah, and because the left side is for replaying the colors, so it's set blocking the colored walls into this direction. And I currently made it till 50 possible combinations, because I don't think that anyone can make over 50. And what happens after that? I think the squid will fall into the void and yeah, will cause some strange behavior. But I was too lazy, because nobody will reach the 50. And so what it does, first of all, the squid starts right here. So these are my two main spawn or reset contraptions. So the right reset contraption is for... So if I press the button in the center, these two will activate, and it will test if the game is started. So 0 and 1. If it is started, then it will tell you restarting the game, and after a while it will set a redstone block. If it is not started and you press the button, then it will tell you starting the game and set global game started to 1. So not resetting anymore. And if it sets the redstone block, it will set the redstone block to this location right here, and so instead of the lapis block, and then it will set the lapis block again and reset everything. So I'm having a scoreboard objectives list. I'm having these scoreboards, and these are reset. So okay, down here is the removing, and up here is the setting again. So it adds whose turn, game started, and so on and so on. It adds all the scoreboard objectives, and sets whose turn to 1, game started to 0, count max to 0, count current to 0, count calculation to 0, the global round to 1, because it's the first round when you start the game, and the player that is currently on this location, so the closest to the button, will have set its game mode to 1. Yeah, and after that it will set game started to 1 again, because you were restarting the game and not only starting a game. If you're only starting a game, it will only set game started to 1, because game started is currently 0, and the game is already reset, so it does not need to set a redstone block somewhere here, because it is already reset. Okay, then over here I'm setting, I'm filling the, so okay, I think this is not really necessary to understand. It kills the squid, this is important, and summons another squid, which has an invulnerable tag and persistence required tag. And yeah, the squid is spawned right here. And so now it's whose turn 1 and game started 1, okay? So it tests for if game started is 1, and then it will give a pass through, because there is success count 0 to this command block. These command blocks are just for the spawn area, so if you spawn over here, then it will set round to 0 for you. It will give you game mode 2, and it will teleport you to this location over here. So now if the game is started, it will then test whose turn it is currently, and if it is whose turn 1, then it will add 1 to the maximum count of a player called global. And because it is 0 before and it's now 1, this is resetting. No, wait. Okay, first it tells you it's computer's turn, because it starts with the computer's turn. Then it will set a redstone block to this location, because I do not want to execute the count max every time I rerun this contraption here, because this contraption here is giving the colors. So first of all, it will set this to lapis block again, set global count calc to 0, do the operation command to set the count maximum. So now it's count calc is 1, and because we added 1 to there. Then it will subtract the current count, which is 0. So count calc is 1. If count calc would be 0, I would know that the current count is the same as the maximum count, and therefore I have reached the end of the line. And yeah, because I'm adding 1 to maximum count every time I switch between computer's turn and player's turn, I have 1 more than I have colors right here, so it lands on a white color at the end, and therefore it will use the dispenser randomizer to place a new color. But if it is count calc 0, then it will teleport the script to the beginning again, count cursor 0, set the block data of this command block right here back to 0, so the success count, and it will set whose turn to. So now I'm on the player's turn. So if it is 1, the count calculation, it will then reset this command block again and teleport the squid 1 forward. So it is at the beginning, it is then on a white block, at the white block 1, above the white block 1, because it was on 0 before, and count max is 1. And then it will add 1 to the current value of the global player. And because it is a white wool, so it's testing here at the squid, it's executing at the squid to test the block below the squid, and it's wool 0. That's the wool color, so I'm testing for every color right here. And if it is 0, it will then use the dispenser randomizer, which is just setting, instead of the execute test for block, it's just set block instead of the test for block, which was set up with this command right here. I'm using my dispenser randomizer command creator to fill up this dispenser, and so when this is wool of 0, so it's a white wool, then it will place a command block right here, execute this command block, and therefore the comparator will give a signal, and this will set it back to air again and reset the success count of this command block over here. Then it's going to set a redstone block to this location instead of the lapis block, and then it will set a lapis block again. So when I set the new color, because it was setting a new color, it will then give the output again. So because when I'm just giving a color like this, then I okay, actually I could remove this repeater here, I guess. When I'm setting the color, it's not displaying the color, because these 4 are for displaying the color over here. And so if the color is wool 5, so this is the top left color, then it will set block wool 5 to this location where now is glass, reset this command block, and after that do stained glass again. And also it will play a harp sound, which has a pitch of 0.7, this one has 0.8, 0.9, and so on. So it's C, D, E, and F. And so if every color was displayed, and I have reached the last one, which was white, then it will give a new color, and also, because this is a redstone block, will then display this color too. And at the end, all redstone lines reach this command block right here, which will set a redstone block to this lapis location right here. So this is now executed again, but because count current was added 1 before, the calculation will now give 0, and therefore because it's now 0, it will switch to the other player. And the other player right here, so it's whose turn? It's now the player and not the computer. That's what I meant with the other player. It will set a redstone block to this location at the player's turn. But also this torch will turn off, and here it will add the round every time. I have done it right here to prevent adding a round just with switching, because at the beginning I do not want to add a round. I just want to add a round every time the player was able to beat the round. And if he's not able to beat the round, then this will add nothing, because it has to switch back to the computer's turn, and it will not switch back if you can't beat it. And otherwise the redstone torch will not turn on again. So right here I also have a calculation value. It's basically the same as over here, but right here I'm having the set blocks commands to set piston extension blocks in front of the colors. And after a short delay, I'm setting a lapis block to which location? Which location is this? Yeah, right here. It's exactly this command block. Okay, I was confused because I thought it needs a redstone block, but no. I want to activate this hopper, so I'm setting a lapis block. Normally there would be a redstone block, so these command blocks are not activated. And also I am setting a redstone block to let me see, what's this location? 16403. Okay, I can also delete this one. I had this one for the lighting, so yeah, so it looks better, but I don't need this anymore. And so now if the hopper is activated, it will give a pulse through to these command blocks right here, which are testing for air blocks, because that's how you use piston extension blocks. So I'm testing for air blocks on the location where the piston extension blocks were, and these tell me which block I have clicked, because if you right click a piston extension block, it will disappear. So then the comparator will turn on because it found an air block and not a piston extension block anymore, and will then set block a redstone block to another location. Man, this is really confusing. Okay, but let me go through this a little bit quicker. Basically what it does, it's filling the piston extension blocks with air, and the redstone block will be set instead of the lapis block, so this will not be activated again because I'm filling the other locations with air. Also I'm resetting the success count of this one, so if I selected the top left color, and if it is the top left color, so it is wool 5, I'm using execute command in the squid again. I'm testing because the squid is continuously moving towards the end. So if it is the right color, it will then set a redstone block to this location here, so this can start running again, because if the count current is not the count maximum, I want to execute this again, so the player has to click another time. And also I'm setting a gold block on the location that you have clicked. I'm playing a sound because you click the right note, and then it will set back to stained glass again. But if you are wrong, so this is the wrong color, it will then tell you, okay, this is using the tellra command. So the player that is currently playing, it will tell you, and using the selector, so this is the new selector, add peak game mode 1, and you lost that round, and then it's using the score, because you can also use a score now. Yeah, and so this tells you you lost at round 5 or something like that, and I was using the 8sekilien or what the name ever is, generator for Telerock commands to get this working. Also for the title you can use the Telerock command generator. So I used, because basically this is all JSON, so you can also use for this right here. So this is the same format, but you just have to change the Teleraw blah 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 to title blah blah blah. And after that, where was I? I'm telling that you lost at around so and so. Then I'm set blocking a wool block on the location, which is now a black wool block. That would be the correct color, the color that you should have clicked. Then I'm playing the sound on the location of the piston extension block, or basically at the color location that you should have clicked, and it's the sound of the color that you should have clicked. Then I'm doing glass again, wool again, playing sound again, glass again, wool again. So this blinks 3 times, and at the end it will then use calculation again. So it will set the global round calculation to 1, because this is the end of the game if you're lost. So if these activate right here, then you lost. And if you lost, it will then set the round calculation to -1 for a global player. After that, it will add to the round calculation the current round that you are playing. So now it's -1, and I'm currently playing round 4, so now it is 3. Then it will subtract my saved high score, so round. If my high score, let's say, is just 2, and this is 3, it will then be 1. So it will then know, okay, you have a score between 1 and this large number right here. And this basically tells me that I have reached a new high score, which will then be told. So Button got a new high score, and a little smiley. And then it will set my score, my round score, to the round calculation score. And also, because here is a repeater, not a comparator or something like that, after a short delay it will then reset the game. But it will not reset the game and start the game. It will use this instead of this right here, because right here the game would be started. It will set the redstone block right here, because right here there is just, and I cloned this with MCEdit, and there's just the game started missing. And yeah, that's about it. Here is my anti-rain schematic. I hope you learned something, and it wasn't too boring. I'm always talking so much, man. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have fun playing. Tell me your high scores. If you reach over 50, I don't know, you're a true hero, but I don't think that this will happen. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.